Welcome back to the 70-Star League here at the Global Speedrun Association. We got more Division 2 action coming out from the legends of Pete and CartoonBuffoon. We just got finished with two very interesting races, and we're moving right on to the third. I am Shantastic93 coming back at you, and I'm joined here in the booth by a new face. Welcome, Perna. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing good. I'm excited. It's my first race to commentate, so it'll be a fun experience. And I hope the runners do well.
Indeed. Well, it is a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
And yeah, it looks like Pete doing a little bit of RNG manipulation on top of the castle.
And those extra lives, you might need them for the race.
He already has 100, going up to 103 now. So right here in regular 70-Star League fashion, we've got a slight difference in lighting on the runners' face cams. Certainly one player in a very well-lit room, and Pete, on the other hand, clearly likes to play in the dark. Probably has the brightness on his screen pretty low, since we're not even seeing the glow of the screen. Hopefully we can resolve those lighting issues, but even if not, the most important thing is we're going to see some masterful play from both players. Ooh, CartoonBuffoon already getting real
Cartoon
excited.
Looking pretty excited.
Yeah, just beautiful.
He's ready for this.
Indeed. Looks like CartoonBuffoon already taking a bit of a lead here in the cutscene action. Cartoon's cutscene movement definitely
slightly faster.
Yeah, for sure. And as Chad has pointed out, we do now have the mirror matchup, USA versus USA. Both in the version of the game being raced, and the two runners. And it appears we have two North American commentators too. So just an all.
Yeah. Also, two runners getting lucky to skip, so that's a good start for both of them.
For sure, clean lucky to skip coming out. Cartoon getting a little bit of an edge going into the painting. I'm not sure if that's from the cutscene off sync. Obviously, the Cartoon was a bit ahead already starting the game. So we might actually have a sync here, and it looks like we do. Looks like the speedrun sync's going to come out in chat now. And, ooh, actually breaking it. Pete going for a slightly slow.
Up to the bomb grab, definitely in sync. The Cartoon having a better ending there.
So we're just going to figure out how to link up these timers. Obviously, what start their timer a little bit sooner or later than the other. And then that's going to basically fall on the restreamer, who's then going to have to do a little bit of extra work in just like syncing up the timers as well. So we're just figuring out here in the technical booth how to make sure that we have our timers synced up as well as the gameplay.
Cartoon saving an extra 0.2 on the slide, slightly faster. So definitely still in the lead.
Ooh, a 12-9 coming down from Pete. So now taking a decisive deficit is multiple frames behind, for sure. But yeah, ultimately in the grander scheme of things, like, generally unlikely that the difference in timer start is going to make much of a difference. So typically out of womps, you're going to have one player more decisively in the lead than the other. Oftentimes, like, every now and then you're going to have, as has happened in the past, you're going to have races that need to be retimed. And we have had races that were literally tied after a retime. We have had races where the retime was required and one of the runners won by like a single frame. And so if it comes down to it, we will do that sort of labor. So don't worry about any kind of timer start issues affecting the outcome of the race. Obviously, all of that will be figured out if it has to, but usually the races aren't that close.
Both runners opting for full setup and both getting them pretty cleanly.
Yep, clean sock folders coming out.
Always nice to see both runners getting the tricks early on.
For sure.
Ooh, Pete opting for pro cycle, looks like, or half cycle skip for the 100 coin, but Cartoon playing it safe for half cycle. See how that works out.
Wait, Cartoon did half cycle?
Yeah,
I thought Cartoon was doing pro.
10 coins.
Oh, okay, went for the 10 coins. Oh, yeah, I see.
Yes.
I
missed
the second set of 5 coins, so I thought it was doing pro.
A full cycle,
Yeah,
I think,
doing
because
this super safe and
he failed it.
Oh, yeah, and you failed it.
Oh, and taking the fall there.
Wait, no, I don't think. Did Pete fail the intermediate cycle? Because if you do it perfectly, you have a little extra time.
Going for the, what's it called? The double jump ledge grab skip. He failed this, so we have to set it up again.
Oh, that's rough. That is rough.
So Cartoon definitely with a significant lead now.
For sure. Now Pete's just gonna pick up these remaining coins. Cartoon headed back in, and from here it's pretty smooth sailing through the rest of Womps. Cartoon's finished up all of the difficult stars, and now officially so to speak. So yeah, it looks like overall nothing super eventful going on so far here in Womps Fortress. Well, it is eventful in that they're playing the game and they're doing things well.
It's always good to see.
Yeah, a nice balance. You know, mistakes are good content, but we all like to see runners also perform. And a little bit. Mario just shutting down clearly what is clearly an organized protest from sentient concrete blocks, just trying to fight for their rights, and responds to it by just ruthlessly, heartlessly ground pounding them. Cartoon heading back in.
Yeah, he's finishing up on show now. I think he's on a decent like 650 pace, so that's always good for a race for sure. Maybe even a little bit better.
Interesting question from the chat. What is better, watching where your opponent is to know if you're ahead or behind, or if it's better not to know and run on your own? Honestly, completely depends on the runner and depends on the situation. Yeah, at least that's what I would say, right? Like, a lot of people have prefer the mentality of like, I'm just gonna sit down, buckle down, do my run. For example, like the kind of runner who might do no resets and hide his splits because they don't want to know where they are, because they just want to keep going. They don't want to worry about behind, ahead, and just play as best they can. And then other people will oftentimes be like, no, I want to know what strats I should go for, how safe I should try and play, if I need to take risks. Certainly like different schools of thought.
Yeah, I would say for like the end game, maybe it'd be better off looking at where the other runner's at, especially in like bits, if you want to go for a triple jump wall kick or play it safe. But at the beginning, you don't want to stress out about like the mistakes you make or the tricks you go for sure.
For sure. And yeah, maybe like certain markers, maybe a certain level where you have multiple strats that you're able to do. I guess a really extreme example of this might be like seeing how far behind you are when going into TTC, and if you're, I guess, literally Tago, and you want to like think, hey, maybe I need to do moving reds in order to get back into this race. Or you're not Tago and you just want to meme, and you want to see that you're ahead enough that you can afford to meme.
Doing it.
Yeah.
take a couple falls.
For sure. Pete picking up that text box skip. Wait, he did get the text box skip right. I just kind of presumed he did.
Unfortunately, my stream actually cut out there, so I cannot tell
Well
you.
done to Pete getting the text box skip. Commentators confirming that he did. If chat says something different, clearly they're the ones who are mistaken. Commentator making
Cartoon
very
making
interesting
shit,
noises.
but missing the red coin.
Missing a red coin. That's gonna send him
I
back.
have to call the cycle, yeah.
Yeah, over an entire cycle. Yeah, and visible frustration on Cartoon's face.
He's also looking like he might not make the Shigeru cycle.
Yeah, I did go for that backup halfway movement.
Yeah.
Not sure which cycle that wound up being.
I think it was normal. Nah.
It is unfortunate.
Then watch the beginning.
Pete picking up
Cartoon.
that star. Apparently.
Yeah, Cartoon looks a little frustrated, but I mean, he's got the lead by a decent amount.
Cartoon definitely one of my favorite players to watch with face cam.
Oh yeah. Did he just
no! He did a save and quit. Actually, yeah, pretty much at this point, I'd say they're about dead even. Oh no!
Okay, yeah. 3 extra ground pounds. All we want to see at the saving and quitting, and now he's really frustrated because Pete's not even that far behind anymore.
Yep, and
very unfortunate.
As you can see, he's kind of questioning the reality of the ground pounds that he's doing. While he's trying to long jump, he's not sure that, like, because he could swear that he's long jumping, and this happens to every runner where he thinks he's long jumping, but like Mario is ground pounding, and of course unfortunately, just everything kind of going wrong here for Cartoon.
Oh, he had a nice Goomba bounce in that sky jump. That was, I've never actually seen something like that.
Honestly, I feel bad because like I'm not a fan of kicking all the way to the top of that hill. It kind of feels like what happens is you wind up to the right, and when
going on top.
Yeah, it feels like the flat surface, like the top of the cannon platform, has a tendency. It's prone to like eating your triple jumps. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I can feel that. I always go up the left side for sure.
Yeah, the left side seems safer. And I don't know if anyone can lip read, but Cartoon getting used to like the facts of the mistakes that he's making, and so like kind of internalizing it. And in his moments of rage, he's exclaiming and screaming out facts, facts, and that's what you're seeing him exclaim.
He with a nice pro wall kicks, by the way.
Yeah, Pete.
Both runners actually. 1-3. Yeah, Pete's starting off slow, but a save and quit, a couple ground pounds, a missed guy jump, and the lead has shifted just like that. Pretty much second half and multiple times in a race.
Yeah, chat's somehow managing to make even less sense than what's going on screen. But looks like Pete's cleaning up the slide, and Cartoon's like only just behind him. It's really rough because there really is no proper correlation between how much time a mistake loses versus like how tilting that mistake is. I feel like there are moments where you can lose 2 minutes on a death, and it's less frustrating than bonking some random place in castle movement or ground pounding when you meant to long jump.
Yeah, especially like the easier stuff when you mess up, even if it's less time for sure. Yeah, like you're gonna get more tilted about it because it's so easily avoidable.
So,
Pete taking
yeah.
right there, Pete taking a big dive. Gonna have to get up from the snow. Like a mistake like that's easily avoidable, but
for sure,
it's tilting.
Yeah, and like Cartoon is extremely competitive in this race right now. He's at this point about a second behind, but just based on the specific kind of mistakes that have been made, I feel like the mentality effects of that are way enhanced.
Yeah, they add up.
Yeah, Cartoon missing his 1 coin, does manage to pick up the full row there, so he's not going to run into any issues. Hopefully.
I saw Pete went for the safety red, so he's definitely a type of player to play more safe and comfortable.
Yeah, but Pete actually almost
didn't miss a
died
coin.
So Cartoon closing the gap, but Pete also having a seamless, solid safety coin.
That Cartoon looks like he takes a slight lead just from skipping the safety red, plus the Pete diving into the snow. But, I mean, out of CCM, both runners about a second apart. It's definitely like a close race and what you'd want to see. Because the beginning is always like the roughest to get through, especially like there's so many like tricks to get done early on.
Definitely. I feel like there are certain points, I think, especially in a race. I don't know about a run. I feel like for some reason I feel like runners have an easier time in CCM during like PB attempts than they do during races, and that a lot more stuff goes wrong during races. I guess probably because like the mistakes you make in CCM are more reset worthy, while like mistakes might not be quite as reset worthy in like Womps or in Dark World, and you'll lose like small amounts of time. But typically if you make a mistake in CCM, you're just gonna reset, so people don't really take note of it.
Yeah, because like basically you either die, like on wall kicks will work, or like you can miss too many coins. So like they're mistakes that don't happen like as often, but they're like basically the most cost worthy ones you can make throughout a run.
Yeah, for sure. Coming into Binny's Brew House here. Binny's Brew Haha. Cartoon gonna be picking up this this big blue kill, and Pete's right behind him.
Both going for the punch trap. Cartoon with a slight lead out of BBH. Pillarless SSL, anything could happen here. That can change the outcome for pretty much the rest of the run. All goes down to basement.
For sure. This is one of those interesting levels where virtually every level of time loss could happen. You could lose a couple seconds, you could lose 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 12 seconds. There's no part.
Yeah,
you can lose an entire minute. And oh no, Cartoon trying to chase around Mips, certainly not the optimal backup to this.
You have to say, while that was happening, P had a very clean punch grab Mips.
Oh, yeah.
Surprising to see.
What's funny is now he's only marginally behind.
With a little bonk. But yeah.
Yeah. Would have stayed ahead, honestly, if he'd just gone into SSL and just picked up Mips on the way back out of Lethal Lava Land. That movement is really, really easy. Picking up Mips out of Lava Land.
Both runners looking... Yeah, Pete almost looked like he might grab the star there.
Yeah.
Both runners in and clean. Clean enough to not die.
But overall, very clean. And yep, so both players getting a first try pillarless. Certainly a refreshing change of pace to just see.
Yeah, constant back and forward.
Which is not to be believed from the facial expressions of CartoonBuffoon, but ooh, Pete getting a little bit of help, about to slide down the pyramid, but gets a quick boost from the booty burn.
Cartoon going for Pyramid Star before Talon, which I don't see many runners do, to be honest, in that star order. Doesn't actually make a difference, but...
I would say that is one of those cases where it's like, I guess if you never ever miss Talon Star, I guess that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But definitely generally better to do Talon first, simply because
if you miss it,
backing up with Pyramid.
The star is right there.
For sure. Some levels do have like, I guess like, oh no, Cartoon
taking a couple falls, couple bonks, can't get the triple jump off.
Yeah, you do. Unless you get like a perfect speed kick, you have to. In Cartoon.
Yeah, you can definitely see his expression now. All these tiny mistakes adding up. Nothing. I guess the save and quote is major, but then this tiny mistakes adding up for him. Not happy about it at all.
Cartoon with an entire monologue here.
Oh, P with the same mistake sliding down. Gonna triple jump off the sign, which is actually a really cool backup to make it over.
Yeah. Very nifty backup. Cartoon continuing, actually reading the complete works of Shakespeare here. I mean, little jabs are, yeah, I mean, little jabs are fine, but like, I actually, first off, it's great content, for sure. Yeah. So I appreciate it, but also it's good to constantly, especially the kinds of frustrating mistakes that Cartoon is making, which aren't that consequential in terms of time, but just can be very tilting. Probably a good idea to just keep on venting and do as much as you can not to let it boil. Pete, meanwhile, joining the ranks of the Bully Hunters, going to be going and taking care of some bad duders here. Some bad dudes. Chat asking if he's singing. It's entirely possible he is. It's what I would be doing to deal with tilt.
Deal with the stress.
Definitely.
Frustration. But falling down there, that's definitely not good to see.
He cannot catch a break!
Yeah, looking like he dove off a little too early there. Falling in between the platforms.
I'm sorry, I'm a little quiet, a little. Ooh, Pete actually. Now it's his turn to have a wee bit of trouble. Gonna be doing the long route. Oh my goodness. Not even gonna back up with another attempt at lava boost. Definitely faster to retake the lava boost. Taking the long way up the volcano is way slower. But certainly don't blame you if you just feel like your lava boost isn't locked in, which is very much something that happens.
Yeah, especially if you have to like have a different angle after missing it. Or a different approach.
I'm sorry, I have to mute my mic for minutes at a time because I don't want to come off insensitive, but I can't stop laughing when Cartoon has...
and Cartoon definitely one of the more excited players when it comes to speedrunning and emotional.
I think it's iconic, honestly, and I say this as someone who rages as hard as the next person.
Yeah, it's definitely, I wouldn't say what he's known for, but it's definitely like a feature he has that can be enjoyable to watch in a good, fun way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, like, even after all the mistakes? Oh, sorry.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, even after all the mistakes, low center and GZ, about all even now.
Cartoon picking up, yeah, just both of them diving into the pool, into the not so dire docks, to be honest. I don't think this is a particularly scary stage in PB attempts or in races, in marathons. Everything seems to go according to plan. Wow! Cartoon really brushing super close to that chest there. Maybe it's just that, you know, I'm bad and he's not, but I always get really scared. I always get really scared when I'm on that chest. I do not want to be blown into it at like a Mario facing angle where I just get zapped.
Definitely also don't want to miss it, or else going back around is always a pain.
For sure. Yeah, so I've been thinking about like a better name for Dire Docks because it's kind of clickbaity, kind of markets it as something more exciting than what it is, which is a pretty free level outside of 120 star. So what I thought of was, and by what I thought of I mean like 15 seconds ago, is Dippity Docks.
Sounds like a nice easy breeze.
That is a scary angle, and I'm not okay. Like, my screen froze as he did.
I know. I can agree with you right there.
And that was really, really scary for me.
Thankfully, he made it over. Going on to the next star.
So the times, just to answer your question, the times are off on the screen because one of the runners actually started their timer a little bit early or late, not sure which one. So this is the proper synchronization of like the run state. Obviously, if we have a run that's like within 2 or 3 seconds of each other, we will do a retime just to make sure that the person who observably wins did actually win.
Runners into Fire Sea now. I know in PB attempts it's a make or break stage because the cycles can very much lose a decent amount of time, and also dying is a huge factor. Both runners look on good pace. Make the early cycle. Doesn't look like there will be any lava boost for either players, but definitely early cycle on the board.
Yeah, Pete getting a nice, clean early Ellie's, which isn't something we get to see particularly often, but not quite making the lava boost or the side flip. I'm gonna go for the double boost ending. I certainly don't. Yeah, sure. Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to catch the good ending, but it was just a little bit too early.
And it was. This was a better. I'd say this was probably maybe not better, but like about the same as the double boost ending. So
yeah.
Because obviously the movement after spawning the star would have been a bit longer if he had gone for double boost. Oh, Pete actually got an interesting tail grab. I was curious to see if it's going to go for a half spin, but probably don't want to risk it.
Yeah, definitely don't want to risk it, especially on this throw.
For sure. And on a race this close, honestly. I'm actually very impressed with how close this race is.
Yeah, like being 10 seconds apart after Fire Sea, it's some pretty good paces too for race time. It's not like both runners have made huge mistakes.
So yeah. Quick shout out to the real MVP of this race, which is CartoonBuffoon's hair. Really can't match that, honestly.
I mean, Pete's hair right now is looking pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, Pete's really rocking the tall, dark, and handsome.
Both runners opting for a different star order here. Cartoon going for the 100 coin first, but Pete's looking to get the other stars out of the way.
Yeah, Express Elevator, unironically, objectively, the hardest star in the game, and I will not believe anyone who says otherwise.
I kind of actually like the idea of races going for 100 coin, because there is some RNG in it, so you definitely don't want to start your upstairs with a bad 100 coin. For mentality purposes.
I definitely personally go for 100 coin first. I'm sure that, like, generally runners go for 100 coin first because when you're going for, like, world record and stuff, if you got a reset, you want to do it earlier rather than later. And if RNG kind of screws you over, probably just want to do 100 coin first, which makes sense. But
for the race scenario, there's obviously no resetting, so it might be better just to get the other stars out of the way. And once you're done with 100 coin, move on to the next stage. It's over. Ooh, but Cartoon. Trying to get the fast Chucky grab, but sadly, the Chucky beat him to the spot.
For sure. Unfortunately, 70-star runners don't actually do the intended first star, which is where you fight the big Bob-omb, King Bob-omb. And so oftentimes what will happen is, because you don't have that throwing fight practice. Oh my gosh, that was such a clutch save by Cartoon.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed before, but when he was walking on the plank, he did take a fall, so definitely lost about a good amount of time there. So obviously, the frustration is shown after falling and almost falling down again.
Yeah. Gonna go for the slightly riskier chuck it throw.
Almost falls down there, but thankfully notices in time to kick back. I would say he probably has to lead here. About a star ahead, I'd say.
I'm trying to read his lips, and I could be wrong on this, but my guess is he's reciting Hamlet. But it could be a different play. Commentator really sticking with his conspiracy theory that Cartoon is reading the entire works of Shakespeare.
Which, I mean, give him credit to do a run and read it. It's not the easiest thing.
For sure. Certainly the mark of a Renaissance man. Quite literally speaking, as Shakespeare, a 16th century poet.
Moving on to THI with a pretty marginal lead compared to when we first got upstairs. See if he can keep it up.
For sure, but definitely not like prohibitively ahead. It's very interesting because if you were to watch this race solely based on Cartoon's webcam, you would probably think
he's like minutes behind.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close to a blowout for sure. Chat saying that Cartoon is reading Much Ado About Nothing. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but I'd say that's actually very incisive commentary on the level of frustration that Cartoon's having compared to how serious his deficit actually is. I'd say that is actually a very clever play on words.
Yeah. Cartoon making a few mistakes on THI's secrets, so the time is slowly ticking away from him, and Pete doesn't seem to be losing any, so eventually.
Cartoon is up all night. And I'm going to say it again, he's doing fine. He is actually, like, he is very much in this race. Very much in this race. Pete is doing a great job maintaining this lead. But as I say, almost every race that makes it past, you know, grabbing the Dark World Star, all runs must reach Tippy, and at that point, pretty much everything's up for grabs.
Yeah, Pete's he's a nice, consistent player, I'd say. He's doing a really nice job just maintaining each star, not blowing away any lead. gets into the lead, he can probably maintain it for the rest of the run.
So Cartoon doing a little dive here into the Piranha Plant. Oh my goodness.
Its
jacket has come off.
He's too steamed right now to handle it.
Throwing the jacket over his shoulder, you should be careful. Streamers have gotten in trouble for that in the past.
He's taking a couple stumbles on the reds, but manages to finish it off.
Pete apparently, or Cartoon apparently having a little bit of hiccups with Toad, or just letting off a little steam from earlier. And actually, interesting question from chat while we have Pete nailing the log wall kick. Cartoon going to be cleaning up these reds, slightly cleaner reds than his opponent, saving a little time on what the best game to start speedrunning is. And honestly, my personal opinion, a game that you enjoy, but not a game that you enjoy too much. Like don't do like your absolute favorite childhood nostalgia trip, but like do that game that you like, and a game that you'll find. Oh no!
But Cartoon.
This is so heartbreaking. Like,
looked like he held right a little bit too early there.
Yeah. And now this race is starting to get a little bit edgy. Oh my god.
Not too sure what happened there.
I think that those inputs can be pretty precise, and
yeah.
Oh goodness gracious, this is really rough, and I don't like that he's going for the star again. I feel like he should do a mountain clip or something and come back to here. But okay, gonna pick it up.
I guess you could say that, but at the same time, at least with my mentality, like if I die to a star, I need to just get it out of the way, to be honest.
For sure, that like I think that's a very understandable issue.
Like
I'd
if
say
you
the
waste the
second
time dying for it, then like you gotta finish it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. The bias makes sense, and he did get it the third time. Usually, if I die twice on a star, at least in terms of my own mentality, not that this is something I do. I will do the thing where I like tilt into the star and I'll risk dying 6 times. But like, I feel like the smarter thing for me to do personally is that like I would just go to another star and then come back when I'm not like when it's not an ego thing, right? When I'm not trying to prove something, it's just simply like I come back and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get the star now that I'm decompressed. Ooh, CartoonBuffoon getting the doing the far out Locky Toucan on the log wall kick. Quite disorienting. Pete, meanwhile, double speed kicking.
Yeah, double speed kicking. Very nice to see. Can he get the ground pound? Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, Pete having some impressive movement, but also, you know, having trouble with the... Yeah, didn't actually go for the fast movement on Snowman's head. Instead, just triple jumped over and did the long strat. Oh no! And see, this is not a huge mistake from Cartoon, but like it just piles on. There's nothing worse. There's really nothing worse than having a bad run and then bonking in castle movement, or just like slipping off a little edge and losing 2 seconds.
I think he'll be glad to be out of Tautomata now. Enter the next stage. Hopefully we can get a nice fresh start.
Going for the ice house, manages to get it. I always forget what deep freeze. That's what they call
deep freeze.
Commentator resorting to intended strats for naming stars. Ooh, Cartoon, like, nailing the bully movement. Pete playing a little safe. Walking back there.
Yeah, the lead's pretty big right now, but Tippy, that's gonna happen pretty much on every single star, so definitely don't count Cartoon out.
Tippy has, I mean, realistically, Tippy has the potential to take at least 2 minutes away from either runner. So this would 100% count as within the margin of error,
Yeah.
literally speaking. Cartoon getting an early ground pound, actually saving time over his opponent's whirl from the facing pond. But Pete nailing the triple box jump.
So we'll see if Cartoon can grab the bunny for the second time around. After struggling the first time quite a bit.
Yeah, Tippy is the tip top of the castle. We distinguish it from upstairs because a lot of people feel like upstairs just generally is the top floor. So there's the top floor and then there's the tippy top. It really doesn't make sense if you explain it. So just trust us.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, Tippy's pretty much just after the 50 star door. Basically anything up there. At least in terms of speedrunning. Oh yeah, Pete almost a full HMC, or HFC entry ahead.
Yeah, Pete very far ahead of his opponent now. Those lonely mushroom deaths were massive. Cartoon getting a good triple box jump. Did he have to retake that? I think he retook that once. Wait,
Not
did Pete
quite
get
sure.
Okay. It looked like Pete got a bad triple jump, but it looks like he didn't because he did get the switch.
Moving on to Tippy now.
Yeah, Pete will be going right up into that tippy top. Which means I'm going to get my hype voice here in action. I'm going to be real excited about everything that's about to happen because Tippy is the most exciting part of the entire second half of a 70-star race. Commentator, highly expedient, does not want to commit to any kind of hard-hitting opinions.
Especially all the strategies you can do.
Oh, got a bomb coming out from Pete. A little bit of rage pause.
Imperfect rage pause, if you'd ask me.
Pete doesn't actually have the face cam, so opting to, ooh, CartoonBuffoon styling with the jump dive movement. And Pete
opting to get the triple jump off.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
oh my gosh, what a god, and he just... What is that save? That is highlight reel. Oh my goodness. That was one of them. That was actually one of the more beautiful saves that I've seen. And
that slope can always be trickery.
Yeah.
Nailing Lackady bounce though looked pretty clean on my end, based on myself.
Yeah, he got a beautiful Lackady bounce.
And the rocks just aren't gonna go in the parking play.
Like, come on. I mean, please, just...
He doesn't need that.
He doesn't need that. This actually kind of sets me off a little, and now I'm a little mad by proxy because there's nothing more tilting to me than RNG that kicks you while you're down.
When it's going bad, yeah.
Oh, a little fake sync on the on Mario's spawning. the star opening out into the screen at exactly the same time. Opening the 50-star door, and Pete going to be heading over here into the tricky triangles. Opting for the dive onto the switch, slightly easier than hitting the jump and dive on the slope of the switch. Very precise timing. Doesn't save all that much time, maybe a few frames. And CartoonBuffoon going to be getting this Locky 2 bounce nice and clean.
Wall kick looked like a little bit of a late framer, but
doesn't get a good angle.
Height.
Yeah, it gets a rough angle, but doesn't fall, doesn't die. And gonna be making it right back up here. Pete, meanwhile, looks like had a seamless reds.
Making his way over to TikTok clock, where dreams can be crushed.
And it's unfortunate because Cartoon's having like a solid tippy so far. First try Locky 2 bounce, had a hiccup on the jump. Ooh.
He ledge grab.
Oh, that's rough.
So yeah, opting to just wait the cycle instead of going in time moving.
Oh no, Pete. I mean, Cartoon. Okay, is gonna make the timing, and Pete opting to sacrifice a lot of time just to preserve his star order.
Yeah.
And his safety red.
Guys, I know P. He's the fan of the safety red, for sure.
Listen, I think it's highly responsible. Sends a good message to all the young runners out there. Don't go around at the start of your career doing unprotected 100 coins. Yeah, just wear a safety red, get up there, make sure you've got your bases covered. Looks like RNG pretty much on his side.
Yeah,
opting to avoid the risk of... just runs off the edge and rolls to avoid the invis wall. And wow, ooh, actually a little bit of a movement flub. Will cause those coins to scatter. But
yeah,
overall,
I think he had 2 extra coins. He might have just thought like, alright, I can do a tiny jump to make it optimal since I can still miss 2, but around where even that wasn't enough.
For sure. And Cartoon meanwhile cleaning up Rainbow right here. And nope, no, he's got it. He's got still time.
Yeah, that's gotta be stopped.
Barely.
Yeah, both runners opting for Toad late.
Toad opting for the 3 second.
If Cartoon can match a decent TTC 100 like Pete's.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get the feeling that the 2 seconds between these 2 runners isn't going to make much of a difference.
Yeah.
Though it is entirely possible that Pete is going to make some like grand giant mistake in bits or whatever, and the margin isn't so big that a big mistake isn't going to make it close, but certainly a pretty big lead for Pete right now, and he is not dropping anything.
Yeah, he's the consistent player he is, grabbing star by star.
Oh my gosh. Clean backup from Cartoon, but Cartoon hits the invis wall. And Cartoon has to go for the fastest version of every strat, and every single one is blowing up in his face, and he gets not the best RNG here on this last boss.
Good ending though from his part, nailing all the wall kicks, making enough pretty fast.
It's just rough.
2 stars left.
Yeah, Pete, like, not dropping any spaghetti whatsoever. The only spaghetti coming out is from Cartoon, and even Cartoon, it's not even like mistake spaghetti. It's more just upsetty spaghetti, right? And
yeah, nice rhyming. I like it.
Yeah, sure. Pete dropping no spaghetti, Cartoon hitting us with the upsetty, and Tama earlier with the resetty.
Resetty.
Shout outs to Animal Crossing. So we're going to get Cartoon coming out with the moving stars. And really solid movement on the moving stars. Picked up that get a hand earlier. Ooh, getting a little bopped by the
Commentators curse right there.
Yeah. A bit of a...
And Pete is done with TikTok Clock, grabbing the red coin star. Just needs to talk to Toad, run up the stairs, and defeat Bowser.
Yeah, and certainly, absolutely nothing could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, nothing.
In that process. Yeah. Everything's free from here on out. Commentators not sure how to hype the race, so engaging in reverse psychology. There's absolutely no place between entering Bowser in the sky and collecting that final star that Pete could possibly lose any time whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm just interested in seeing if he goes for left side, the pole, just based on what kind of lead he has.
I'm extremely disappointed not to have seen a task jump, honestly, but hey.
Because the lead is enough where he can like fail left side, but I don't know if that's gonna make him go for it if he's not comfortable. And it looks like he is gonna take the pole. The camera he had set up kind of tricked me there, but it looked like he was just lining up the center.
Yeah, opting not to lose any time. Maximize his winning over his points.
And this looks like it could be a 50. What?
Yeah, this could very possibly be a 50.
44 second throws, it looks like, so we'll definitely need to have it clean. But it could happen.
Can't miss throws, and can't really have
too many spins.
More than one picking up the tail.
First throw
picking up Bowser's tail, that is.
Yeah, he could definitely get it right here. But it looks like he has a little bit of a hiccup, so it might be close. It looks like it might, I don't know, I think it's like 15 seconds, and like as soon as it hit the bomb, it was at 45 seconds on the clock.
This looks like a 51 flat.
Yeah, 51 flat.
51 flat.
Almost a third race with a player finishing with a 50, but good job for Fee.
So, but Cartoon definitely gonna have a chance at some serious pointage here.
Just needs to keep his cool, get through the stage.
He's very much on pace to finish less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Behind his opponent. Interesting.
Moving left, and he gets
moving left. Nice and clean. I don't know if you saw on Pete's screen, but Mario took a really long fall and took no damage from it. Very interesting. Probably did a rollout off screen. Peach also exhibiting benefits of wearing a dress is the air resistance causes you not to take fall damage. Oh, Cartoon missing.
Cartoon missing the first throw. Grab it.
Can miss one more throw, we'll get the same number of points.
Looking like a high 52 now if the rest of the throws hit. But throwing him a little bit too short there. Not going to be enough to reach the bomb. Fairly frustrated.
Still on pace for 52.
Is that going to hit?
And, yep, it's going to hit it. I think he caught like the final throws of the ground, so
yeah.
And that's going to be a safe 52. And we are joined by Cartoon. Hey Cartoon, what's up?
I suck.
I mean, congrats on less than 2 minutes behind, so you're gonna lock in quite a few points.
That's true. I mean, honestly, Pete played really well. Like, I'm impressed. A 51 flat would have been hard to beat, but I made so many mistakes that I really don't think I should have made. Like, the save and quit at the beginning, easily, like, combined with the with missing sky jump, I lost like over 30 seconds right there. And I think Lethal Lava Land also had like a 30-second mistake. Like, if I would have cut out many of the big mistakes, it would have been a lot closer. So I was very annoyed by a lot of those things today.
I get you. I will say, in fairness to you, like, a lot of it wasn't just like mistakes, because overall you were kind of keeping up for most of the run, including after the save and quit. It was a really close race. It kind of just seemed like the mistakes you were making are like in the 80th percentile of the most tilting mistakes you can experience.
It may have looked like that. I tilt when I make any mistake.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for some reason, the best part of this run was Womps. I got a gold split on Womps, and then after that it was all downhill. But I played so well for the first, like 7 minutes of the run, maybe.
Yeah, no, you were on point, and you were very much, I don't know, were you watching Pete's stream?
I was at a point, but then it got to a point where I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was the Lonely Mushroom Star. I think that was the point where it really opened up.
Yeah, that star was annoying. The first mistake was my fault. The second mistake, I didn't expect the camera to turn, because I had never done it like the way that I was doing it with the camera, which I understand now. It's just in the moment. I didn't expect LakiTuCam to like shift, and it shifted all my momentum. So even though I was lined up right, I just didn't have the speed. So that was frustrating. Like, I died twice on that star.
Yeah. No, any unexpected camera change, because your inputs have to be like very, very much like, unironically, your inputs are operating on a script there. So it's like, that can be super rough. But you got through it, and you locked in some points. Congrats to Pete on a fantastic race. Any final thoughts?
I suck, and GG Pete.
Okay, but GG's. Good job, congrats. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this race. We're gonna come right back at you with more Super Mario 64 action. Check out onyx.tv, and we'll be right back.